Hi, my name is Karen Kilbot, and thank you for watching today. Today's topic is all about the big picture, the value that comes from having conversations with your customers that can bring for your business. So it's all about being aware of and extracting the value out of your follow-up conversations and interviews with your customers. Why should you care? So this whole video is about explaining why you should care. This is a summary video, really just going as an overview of the idea of what value you can get out of your customer conversations. But the shortest version I can manage of why you should care is that there is gold in the customer interviews. There is messaging gold, there is social proof gold, feedback gold, insight gold, and relationship gold. And yes, it takes effort, but the payoff is so worth it on many levels for your business. And if you aren't engaging in these conversations with your customers and getting feedback and really checking in with them, and you aren't recording that information, you are leaving gold on the table. So just quick to let you know, I will be going into more detail on all of these areas in other videos. There's a whole lot more to talk about. But I wanted to touch on the main points of each quickly here in this video. So just give you a quick overview. I did make a graphic to show you what I'm talking about so that you can kind of have a better picture of what I'm talking about. But before we get into that, I wanted to just touch on what I mean by what's an interview, or what do I mean by a customer conversation? Because if you're dealing with a customer, you're talking to them all the time probably, or you're emailing them and all of that. So what I mean here for this example is any conversation or an interview that you have with a client or someone else has with your client on behalf of your business, where the purpose is to check in with them and get feedback or hear their thoughts on their experience with your product or service in the context of their story and lives. How does your service or product, how is that fitting into their lives? What is that like for them? So that is what I'm talking about when I talk about a customer conversation or an interview in this context. And it doesn't have to be just at the end, but that is an entirely separate video. So I'm not going to go on that here. So here is the diagram I just wanted to show you. And as you can see, made it a pretty circle spirally thing. But I just wanted a way to visually represent what I'm talking about when I imagine and want you to imagine all of the value that you can get from one customer conversation. This isn't supposed to be, well, if you have 50 of them, you can get all of these things. You can get all of this information and value out of one customer interview or customer conversation, and imagine what more you can get as you talk to more and more customers. So as you can see, we're talking about messaging, we're talking about social proof, we're talking about feedback, and we're talking about insights. And I would argue, most importantly, we are talking about relationships. So to jump right in, I will make this diagram. I'll post a link to the diagram where you can look at it anytime you want at the end of the post. So jumping right in with messaging. So messaging gold. All right, when I mean gold, I hope you know what I mean. But just to be clear, I mean raw data, raw original content that you can use for your business, that is from the mouths of your customers, and their actual voice, not your imagined customer voice. So to dive into messaging, I'm really trying to keep this quick today. You get to capture your client's actual words. You don't have to guess what they would say. You don't have to imagine what they would say. You get to hear what they actually say about your business value. You don't have to assume or make anything up, and you can use it for all of your copy needs. You're going to talk about benefits. They're going to talk about anxieties. They're going to talk about features. They're going to talk about the situation they were in, why they hired you, how it's been going. They're going to talk about results that then you get to talk about. So they give you, in the context of this conversation, all of the words for the copy that you need to write. So that is a huge pot of gold right there, in which allows you to speak to your ideal clients with the words of others like them. And your copywriters will totally thank you if you come to them and say, so I have all of this customer data of interviews and transcripts. And they're like, what? I don't have to do any of that. And you already have their words. So your copywriters will thank you. So that's just like a quick touch on what value you get out of the conversation for messaging. Next up is social proof gold. So this is quotes. This is testimonials. This is case studies. These are the things where it says, I hired so-and-so and I was able to achieve this because of our work together. Boom. So you get quotes, testimonials, and it's all there if you can just pay attention. And then all you have to be is like, so can I use this quote? And they're like, sure. And you're like, okay, yay, hooray. And the most important thing that social proof allows you to do is to let your clients do the work of explaining your value to others. They're the ones saying you're awesome. They're the ones saying the results that they got and linking it back to you. You don't have to do that, which I know a lot of us can feel uncomfortable and we feel like we're bragging. But we should be able to brag, but we can totally let our customers do the bragging for us. So you get the quotes, you get all the words that you can use to let your clients explain your value. Next up is feedback gold. And I know people hear feedback and we all go, this isn't like a corporate performance review. Okay. This is totally different. So it's not as scary as you think. When you are talking to them, you can get information that will allow you to make process improvements, communication improvements, and just allow you to live out your goal in your business of constantly striving to make your business better at serving your clients. A lot of the times you're going to get things that are like little. It's not going to be this epic, monumental shift, but you're going to get things that will allow you to make those small adjustments that you need as you go along to just have a better business. So feedback, insight gold. This is valuable for both new business ideas who are trying to validate an idea and established businesses. It allows you to listen for opportunities to serve your current clients in new ways. So when your people are talking about, well, I've had this one program for so long, but I want to pivot or I want to make a new program, but I don't know what they need. This is where you can learn that and then create things based on what they've said. And it allows you to listen for opportunities to create what they already need instead of guessing. Next up is my favorite, which is relationship gold. And this is just straight up connection and trust building. So, know, like, and trust. This is part of where the trust building happens because you care enough to ask them what they think and then do something with that. Think of how it makes you feel when people follow up with you and reach out and say, did you enjoy that? Or thank you very much. Or all of those things that we really appreciate in our daily lives. This is a touch point. This is you saying, I care about you as a person. I care about you as a client. And I want to make sure that your experience is as good as it can be. You give them the opportunity to process their experience and reflect on the progress they've made. I can't tell you how many times I've been on an interview where people, that's the first time they've really said out loud their results or said out loud the successes they've had. It matters. And then you're not treating them like just another sale. You are building the relationship. You're not going, thanks for the money, I'm never going to talk to you again. You're building the relationship, which leads to better word of mouth and referrals and a solid network of people who want you to succeed. So that's just a quick overview of the 5 areas that I outlined on the diagram that are valuable from a customer interview perspective. So I will be diving deeper into each of these on future videos. If this sounds like something you might need help with, you can, if you're not already here, you can go to heykaren.com and message me, and I would love to answer any questions you have. And if you think this is something other people would find valuable, please like and share. Thank you.